Hello and welcome to IRL F4 round 4. Almost forgot for a moment there. But round 4, we're heading to Zandvoort this week, and the first time we're heading to this track. Nonetheless, I'm Sondre Sorag, joined by Jared Fosbury.
Good evening.
Good evening indeed. And Jared, I'm just gonna put you right up there as you raced this track on Wednesday in FP. So like, what was your first impression of your first league race on this track?
Wasn't a good impression because when we went out in quali it was intermediates, but then it went to dries quite quickly, so I don't know, it wasn't really the best track on pace for quali, but I think the strategy is a no-brainer, softer hard in the race, as Adrian actually, Sondre, is on a flying lap as drivers move out of the way on it.
Oh, we will move over to him then. The first driver here in F4 who's gonna be setting a lap in Zandvoort, as we can see him locking up a little into that banked hairpin there. The corner I think we're gonna see a lot of people struggling with today.
As actually, I think one of the drivers have lagged out. I think that's a Florida Mystic. Hopefully he can return back, because I knew he had some issues in FP with his connection. But he was actually quite quick. Actually, he did a 9.6 in a Red Bull, so I'm expecting him actually to challenge Lewis and Salmon Pike today, and hopefully James can get a podium this week, as I believe he DNF'd last week, Sondre.
He did DNF, but he did finish enough of the race to get 2 points or 1 point, I think. So obviously, he would have liked more than that. Nonetheless, Adrian has put up his first lap with 1:109.9, and I believe we have Anton on a lap now too. Nonetheless, though, Jared, after FP on Wednesday, like, what did you find the hardest thing about this track in the end?
I think no ABS. To be honest, I think this track's mainly going to be, this is a new track, people on ABS are going to have an advantage, which I've now started to not like, but it can't be helped at the moment. But it is an alright track to drive, but there's only one overtaker as Anton, so it's 9.7, so 2 tenths quicker than Adrian, and currently takes pole position, as I believe is Renault of Louis, who's our championship points leader, who's had well, not 3 wins, I do believe. I think he's had 2 wins and
3 wins, yeah.
His win.
No, wait.
Did he have? I don't know. Let's have a look on F4 to find it. He actually might have.
He does go quickest so far, though. A 10th quicker than Anton, it looks like.
Good lap there from him, and he has had 3 wins this season. Could he have a 4th today? He's the only one, I believe, this season in all the divisions to have 3 wins.
He should be, yeah. I mean, I don't hope every division has one driver who is taking it all, as we can see that Mumford is taking pole. Provisional pole, that is.
Yeah, that is a good lap there, actually. Well done on him to take pole. As I'm just going to invite Mystics, I'm guessing he's having issues to rejoin. Let's have a look.
It's Jamie now in his Haas is heading through this fast right-hander. And goes invalid. Not gonna lie, I think we can see more people who's gonna be struggling with setting valid lap times here. I've noticed from the small experience I have on this track that there is a couple of places where it's quite easy to just go out a little bit too much and invalidate. As we can see, Sean O'Sullivan in his first race of the season in F4R, I believe, taking on to his lap. As he is in the racing point together with
Bill Hull, I believe his name.
Will, yeah.
No,
Now
I think Sean has
Sean.
deserved it, to be fair, to get that seat eventually. I think he's got a lot to prove. He has been doing a lot of improvement in FP. He was leading the championship to start the season. Maybe a bit more good luck.
It's a little bit of a funny story with Sean, isn't there, Jared? Signing up to FP at the beginning of the season, not realizing that was a different thing than the normal tiers, and well, then had to sign up for the normal tiers after the season actually started.
Yeah, and I think there's a Merc gone off in the banking. That is Anton, man.
And it's a 9.7 right behind Anton. What about?
Anton actually spun his outlaw. That's interesting.
Oh, what about Adam Corrigan? The huge bottle is there gonna be another one today? I'm taking a lot of curb in that corner, to be honest. As Will goes pole so far.
Pretty decent lap time, 9.1. Maybe we could get into the 8s, maybe at the end of qualifying. Right now,
Yeah, I was gonna say what kind of lap times we should actually be expecting here today, because I have no idea. Sounds like you have some sort of an idea.
Well, if it was F5, I'm expecting mid 9s, possibly low 9s, low 10s. So it's, but this is F4, so I'm expecting low 9s, mid 9s, and high 8s, to be honest. Ooh, Ross saying validates his run.
Ross has invalidated indeed.
Ooh. As James currently purple in sector 1 though, getting held up though by the racing point. This point needs to get out of the way, and he's actually weaving on the straight, which I've just caught.
And that was...
That video clip is getting saved.
Okay.
That was... yeah, he completely ruined James's lap. Yeah, it was Bill, and he completely ruined James's lap.
Well, I didn't see when he actually blocked him. I only saw the weaving, but can imagine James not being too happy about that. Good evening to you, Tyler, and the bottle Haugon comes as usual. Yes.
Adam doesn't finish his lap, then goes in the pits. What about Adrian?
Watching as a band and as a steward. Adrian is on a new lap.
Gotta say, he's taking sector 2 correctly.
Let's see here, a small lock up there from him.
Rear end's a bit loose. And he backs off his lap.
Yeah, and that lost him just too much time, so... What about Lewis? He shouldn't be too far behind him on track here. Anton, I am not gonna disagree too much with that. I do believe ABS is a huge advantage on this track, especially with the banked hairpin and some of these other corners. And we can see that Louis Vassman is locking up quite a few places here as he goes to do a 109.4, which puts him third in the moment. And not gonna lie, Jared, not looking as strong as he's looked the previous races.
Yeah, that could be an issue with no ABS on it. Is a new track, so we can't really, say as the other tracks, it's going to be him at the top. So he maybe just having struggles with the setup, and I've been there with FP. So
Well, I did have a look at FP, and I did see you locking up like a jippo in every corner possible, almost. So I do believe you.
the worst thing is, Matthew helped me with the brakes and made my brakes a lot softer now, and I'm going to be locking up even more. So I am not looking forward to Sunday as Louis then I think's peeling into the pits after he's done his lap.
Well, James is out again, as he's gonna try to get in a lap this time.
It's purple sector 2. Oh, and he touches that curb, and that's harsh.
And
Too
you know,
harsh.
I've noticed that, like, in that corner, you can gain so much time, but you can so easily invalidate. Unlucky.
Kieran's made it, which is good to see, and hopefully Shane can make it. I do know he is on his way home.
He is.
And Talia is on the calendar. It's later in the season.
Oh, and what's happened here between Will and Anton?
Anton probably let us know in the chat.
You know, I looked away for a moment, I look back and I see them colliding. Actually, looking at it, Anton should have been on a lap too.
Yeah, I think Anton wasn't. Yeah. Interesting. Oh, hang on. Is that Renault? Is that James? It is James. James has bottled it out of the hairpin. He has only the nose of his car, complete no front wing. That's his qualifying run over. And he's got
Well,
5 minutes for one more
that's...
attempt.
Oh, Adam Corrigan taking some dirt there, it looks like. And it looks like he's backed off his lap in the end.
Oh, and James retired, so I think he's called it there for quali.
What about Kieran? He's gonna get his first lap in now. Heading through turn 1. And into this fast section. I'm not gonna lie, I hate this entry to the hairpin. It is so bad without ABS. Nonetheless though, they gotta deal with it, and so far Kieran's lap is not looking too bad. So that's a purple sector. Let's see then, Kieran heading into the final few 2 corners. Through the long banking and towards the line. It's gonna be a 110, 111, 2.
I think that was a banker for him, to be honest. That was way off because that's like maybe bottom of F5 pace that time. So
I
good luck for Kieran.
do think there might have been some mistakes from him on that lap. I don't think he would actually set a 111.2. Nonetheless, though, we're following Ivan King now as he's heading towards the banking. And then towards the line, it's gonna be a 111.5. So I'm not sure about that one either. As do we... Anton should be on a lap. He's actually just started his lap. Now heading through this first sector, you can see a small lockup from him into the hairpin there. Now Anton really throwing that car in there. As we can see, a Ferrari might have gotten a little in the way for Anton there, as Anton spins the car. And that is his lap over.
That's a shame there for Anton. And just some confirmation for James. The weaving will be investigated. As Simon Pike actually is on a lap right now. Sandro currently the pole sitter. He is purple sitter, 1.5 tenths up, and he is on ABS. I can tell with his braking, so he could do an 8, and he's really pushing the car to its limits. It is in 4th gear, activates DRS, gets big plus Patrick there, but following the race in line. As he's now coming to my favourite part of the track, sector 3.
As Lewis has called it a day in quali, which means he's not going to be grabbing pole here. What about Vildo, as Jamie has retired from quali 2? I think he's actually crashed.
Yeah, he binned it on the
But
bank.
Vildo heading towards the line, and
wow,
that's a 188. And I don't know if anyone can beat that. We have Kieran on a lap. However, he's done a 111.2 so far, so he's gonna have to improve a lot to be able to beat that. And he's not actually pushing. What about Ross? Ross looking decent through this second sector here. Notice that Patrick has started his last lap too.
Yeah, I'm on board with that right now. See what he is in sector 2 then. Not purple, he's almost 3 tenths down in his lap, so he may find some more time in the final sector.
We'll see Ross with a 109.7. What about Patrick?
No.
Oh, and Patrick into the wall, and look at that!
Yeah, he just touched
what
the curb,
a crash!
lost control. That's unfortunate for him. What about Kieran? Oh, actually, what about the other AlphaTauri? Why is Adrian on 3 laps of stops?
I do not know, but Sean is heading towards the final corner though, and we can see that Red Bull standing there.
Good ghosting.
However, Sean, is he going to be able to improve? It's going to be a 109.4, which puts him in 4th so far. Ross is still pushing, same with Kieran.
Kieran's 3 tenths up.
Let's see then, Kieran, is it going to be an improvement? A 110.7. What about Ross Denholm as he's heading towards the line? It's a tiny improvement there. As Ivan is on a lap. As Shane has just about managed to get in.
Oh, yeah. Bang on time. Hopefully he can load in alright quickly enough because he's got a minute. I was praying Kieran don't retire yet or anything. Oh, is it Adam? It's Adam actually, don't retire yet. But Kieran's lap. I'm very surprised. A 10.7 there, Sandra. Is he banking that Delta beats it?
I don't know. It's Kieran has I believe he's been on the podium twice this season or something. So it's a little surprising to see his lap like that, but then again we saw Lewis Bassman too. He's taken 3 out of 3 wins so far, and still today he only managed 3rd place in quali, and to be fair not too far ahead of 4th and 5th either, so as Ross Denholm invalidates his lap. So I mean, it is a new track, so I think that might have something to do with it for some people here, that like they haven't really driven the track before. You don't really know what to actually expect. And of course, we gotta remember that it's supposed to rain in the race, Jared, so
yeah, I was just about to say that if you
that could be compromised setups from some of the drivers too.
Possibly. Maybe that's why Kieran then did a 10.7, so I'm probably expecting he's running very high wings, possibly 5.11.
I'm not gonna lie though, I don't feel good for the drivers running no ABS here because I can't imagine that hairpin banking is gonna be any better in wet conditions. Nonetheless, we have Will Hulke on pole, we have Thomas Mumford in second, Lewis Wassman in third, and Sean O'Sullivan in fourth. Then in fifth we have Patrick, in sixth Adrian, then in seventh Anton, then in eighth we have Ross, closely followed by Adam Corrigan in ninth and Kieran in 10th.
Hopefully Shane made it in the lobby.
Apparently Lewis Wassman was on a dry setup, Jared. And if that's the case, being that far off Villa, I do think, to be fair, Villa could have also been on a dry setup for that matter. But then I don't know, maybe this is the race where Lewis is going to be struggling a little more.
Yeah, that could be true, but he could be playing a strategy because I did see in the comments that it's rain to dry. So there's possible dries in. So this is exactly how FPing was in quali.
Anton, rip for the guy who is ahead of me on lap 1. Big lockup coming.
But I agree. But I've got to say, it don't look wet for wets. I think it's going to be intermediates the whole way through. Unless they put them on slicks. Now I have seen slicks can be quicker in what the conditions are now, what we had in FP and quali, but it did feel like it should have been inters. So very interesting strategies could be played out.
Well, let's see. It says a one stop with a pit stop on lap 18 to 21 from inters to inters, and they are all on inters.
I don't think Inter's can do a one-stop round here. It'll be pushing, to be honest.
I just realised it's quite a short track, so it's a 36 lap race. That's a lot of times trying not to lock up in that hairpin there.
Adam's already Adam has
already 3 people disqualified from the formation lap.
Oh, I really feel sorry for Anton now. He's definitely going to lock up with those cold tyres.
Not gonna lie, I think we're gonna see a couple people struggling quite. Oh, as Villa goes off the track here. Not sure if that was on purpose or not, but guess we'll see in the race.
Well, Villa didn't race last week because he didn't like the track, so he is down in the championship against Louis. He's ahead of him in quali, so he could be quicker. So he could actually have a fight back and hopefully can make the championship interesting, because right now it just looks like F4 and F5 are just Renault dominance, and hopefully we see some other teams actually try and fight them.
Well, let's see then, as the drivers are going to be lining up on the grid.
Oh, have you seen Anton's message? I have to call an ambulance for Sector 1.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of what I'm expecting here too. Like, that Sector 1, like, it's fast corners, and heading into that hairpin, like that right-hander before the hairpin, I think we're gonna see some people struggle there.
Well then, I'll keep an eye on the back of the grid in case there's a massive crash.
For when? Not in case. I'm joking. Hopefully that's not gonna be the case, as we have 4 or 5 red lights, and away we go with the first race rounds, and what it looks like a very good start from Will here, as the timings are all over the place. Nonetheless though, Lewis goes very wide there, trying to get a good run, as it looks like he's ghosting, and nonetheless though, Thomas Mumford is still ahead of him. Lewis Bassman goes on the curve there. He goes, gets a very bad line through this hairpin as he's now gonna get attacked by. Is that Shane? Oh, wait, no, that's the timings. That is Patrick, I mean.
Patrick Shane did a lunge in that. Oh, Jamie's out! Jamie's into the wall, and that is big chunk damage on your left hand foot.
Unlucky for Jamie. Nonetheless, though, would be awesome if the timings sorted themselves now, and it looks like it has. And Patrick has had quite a good start here, going up to 3rd place.
Oh no, this is going to end in tears. Anton is going around the outside of Ivan. This is really going to end in tears in a minute. Now gets the position through as well. Actually, Ross and Kieran are still going side by side. Kieran gets the car ahead, Ross is on the outside. They're going to give each other space.
They're managing to give each other space here. It looks like Kieran has it on the exit here, though. Are they really gonna end up going side by side through this banking in these conditions? They do. They both look a bit edgy through here, though. But and look at that! Who is that? That is.
James
no, and James, that is Anton, who's just lost it completely, and the
Jamie's
safety
been saved. That is a massive crash from them too, and I'm video clipping that for the highlights.
And how unlucky can James be? Not his fault at all, he just was unlucky and got collected with Anton, who just looked like he just lost it there in the banking. So it must be pretty slippery there now.
Yeah, I can agree with that. It can be quite slippery on that banking, even on dry tyres, when your tyres are basically done.
Dry tyres? Excuse me, Jared, do you not know how to drive or something?
No, I mean when they're completely dead, like 80% tyre wear, but there's just no grip.
Sounds like a personal issue if you ask me.
I have to agree, of course, but you know, either you're going to get disqualified or what you do best.
And I can see here that James has said in the chat, why did he not ghost? And well,
it's ghosting on this game.
Gotta blame Cody's for that one, James. The ghosting is just not reliable.
True.
However, though, if James did not know that ghosting isn't always reliable and didn't even try to avoid it, then I do feel bad for him that he didn't know about that. As we see that none of the leaders are pitting. Nobody's pitting except for Ivan, it looks like.
And he's got a 5-second speed in the pits. He's actually having a wing change. Maybe he had contact with Anton and maybe that's what instigated the crash. As he leaves the pit lane in 11th, just ahead of Jamie. I'm going to say I do not like this entry out of Zandvoort because you run a little bit wide, you're going to get a penalty for cutting the line, or if you touch the curb, you're going to go spinning.
Good combination, isn't it?
Yeah.
As the drivers now are just strolling around behind the safety car.
What? Okay, now Salman's actually trying to go around the outside of the safety car there. Maybe once safety car to speed up, but...
Well, I'm just gonna say that it won't speed up no matter how much he tries to get it to speed up.
I just say slow down, back off, and then warm your tyres up. That's the best thing to do and catch back up. But do
you can't back off too much though, you know.
Well, as long as it's 10 car lengths, I mean. That's until.
Yeah, but even if you go, well, difficult to judge though. But you can't fall too far back, as you know. Then you'll get that timer up on your screen saying to catch the queue. Or you're falling too far behind, actually, I think it says.
He's really eager to try and get past that safety car, to be honest.
Anton already looking forward to next week then. Well, He did say safety car, no ambulance for sector 1. However, it ended up being the third sector in the end.
Sandra, I have a weird feeling if Simon Pike actually does overtake the safety car, he's going to get disqualified.
Well, he does get disqualified if he overtakes the safety car.
No, not by us. I mean by the game. He'll actually get disqualified now.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, he's getting... He's playing with fire.
But nonetheless, though, if he overtakes the safety car and tries to gain an advantage by doing that, he will get disqualified from the race completely too. So I don't see what is if he's actually trying to overtake it, I don't see the point of it. But I don't know.
It's definitely not a way to get your tyres warmed up, I'll tell you that. Oh, there's Louis making a mistake, almost went in the grass there. Safety car will be on this lap, as everyone has caught up. We've got 12 runners left.
Is trying to slow down the pace a little. However, it's not easy to actually slow down and let the safety car get away when it's these conditions on this track, because the safety car is already going so slowly.
Oh no. Patrick and Louis have collided, and that's a 5-second penalty. If he reports it and has footage of it, it will be removed.
No, it won't, Jared, because you gotta realize it that he's gonna end up serving it. Ooh, nonetheless, Bill has gone, and Thomas has really not had the best safety car restart here as he's getting challenged by Patrick into turn 1. Patrick around the outside. Is he gonna be able to make that move? As he goes right around the outside of Mumford there and up into second place. Oh, as Mumford goes into the back on him of Patrick on to the hairpin.
Oh, Louis almost collected Mumford there. That could have been really dangerous.
I'm not gonna lie, I do feel bad for these two going so close together through this sector. One tiny mistake from Mumford and Lewis won't have the time to avoid it. Or a tiny braking mistake from Lewis and he'll be into Mumford too. Villa has, on the other hand, had an amazing safety car restart here.
Yeah, he's had a pretty decent one, especially with the aid of Patrick actually overtaking Mumford, and with that 5-second penalty and when he will pit, because Sandra, my eyes are not deceiving me, but it stopped raining. So I'm guessing it's going to be slicks in the next 4 to 5 laps around here. I think it will dry up then, unless it's going to be like
interesting
FP and take like 12 minutes.
Nonetheless, look at this, Louis Wassman not getting quite close enough to Thomas here. What about further down the field? We can see Adam together with Adrian and Kieran here. Kieran, who in quali looked very off pace, but there in the race though, he's keeping up with the cars ahead, so.
And a bottler in 7th place hasn't bottled yet. He's doing very good in the inters. I know he's good in the wet conditions. I've raced against him in the full wets. Oh, I don't want to give him commentator's curse, but he's doing very well in 7th place, and he's trying to stay with Adrian and Sean ahead, and hopefully not to get overtaken by Kieran, who's just behind him.
Look at the lead for Villa right now, almost 2 seconds ahead of Patrick, and Patrick almost a second and a half ahead of Mumford. Mumford, who is being pressured by Louis Wassman here. I'm not gonna lie, that banking can't be fun when you're right behind someone. Ooh, as it looked like Adams almost lost it there.
Someone has lost it there, and that's Jamie yet again. Has he got more damage? Another input missing. And he's going in the pits. Please do not retire. Yeah, I think James is going to retire.
Oh, look at this. Adam looking very feisty on Adrian here. However, it's going to be very difficult to make an overtake in these conditions, and from what I've understood, it's going to be very difficult to make an overtake here even in dry conditions, Jared.
Ooh. Yeah, the only main place for dry, well, the only two main places for dry is where Mumford is right, not Adam, sorry, is right now, and the main straight. So he's just gonna have to be smart and get a good traction out the banking. As I saw, Adrian is struggling. He's been touching the curbs a little bit, and it's making the Alpha a bit loose end. But Adam ruins his banking.
Oh.
Oh, very
Lewis
close.
Wassman catching on Thomas Mumford there. Is he gonna go for a move? He's not going for it. I think he could have gone for it if he pushed on the straight there, but he decided not to, it looks like.
There was almost a crash there on the banking, Sandra, between Adam and Kieran, as Adam makes a massive mistake.
Oh, there was no crash at least.
Gotta say though, Sean in his debut race is doing very well in 5th place. Only 1.5 seconds off the championship point leader, but he is gaining very slowly, as he's just lost a little bit of time there, but he was gaining last sector. So maybe Mumford could hold up Louis a little bit more, so Sean could get into attack range.
I'm not gonna lie here, Jared. Right now there is one driver who is looking extremely dominant today, and that is Villa.
I think we need to make a new rule for the new tracks, no ABS for all tiers. I think that's needed.
Fortunately, we can't do that.
This does a 20.8. Oh, Mumford!
Wow. That was close, I think. And look at this, Lewis getting closer to Mumford, but can't really get a move here. Adrian still within DRS range on me. Sean.
Funny thing is, his FP team is the meme team.
Tyler Thomas does not agree with you, Jared.
I need my ABS. Okay, then maybe just for the racing point team, you know? Louis also doing correct, and Louis, I think, said he was running a dry setup. I'm correct, aren't I?
He did say so, and if he wants any chance at winning today, he's gonna either get the strategy spot on, or he's gonna have to hope that Villa is on a wet setup, because he's now 5.5 ahead of Patrick, so he's gaining a lot of time on Patrick, Mumford and Lewis. As we can see that Villa puts up another fastest lap of the race.
Oh, here comes Louis on Mumford into turn one,
Lewis
sends it
on the inside, a little contact between the two. However, Lewis is still ahead, and he takes the position away from Mumford there.
Hang on, is that Jamie? It is. The Haas is round. Luckily, he's ghosting. He's on hard tyres, Sandra. Shane is also on hards.
It's a bit of a gamble. The spray is looking way too much for dry tires so far.
I will keep an eye on Shane and see if he can gain any. Oh, Tyler. Love your comment.
Yeah, I saw it.
Shane's definitely made the wrong tyre choice. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there is no doubt, Jared. Look at the spray from the cars. It is nowhere close to the crossover. Well, it is the crossover period probably, but it's nowhere close to actual dry tires yet.
As Sean's really under threat by Adrian now.
Really getting pressured by Adrian here, then going into the banking. He's managed to get a little bit of a lead out of the banking there.
Kieran's under threat by Ross, but Ross can't get past him. He's not using his overtake, which is surprising. A bit of contact in turn 1.
As Louis Vassman has now catched up to Patrick.
Well, I've got to cut you off, Sondre. Ross is going around the outside almost from Kieran into the hairpin. He had a really good run. Always Jamie retired in the pits then, so he's called it a day. But I think if Kieran's not careful, and Ross is going for it. Oh, very close. That was a very tight gap if he made that work. But Ross looks a lot quicker in the Ferrari compared to Kieran right now.
He does look like he... Ooh, and that's a mistake from Kieran. And look at that, Ross right down the inside and up into 8th place.
I think that was due to contact there, Sondre, because Ross actually did tap him a little bit. But Kieran's coming back at him.
Kind of difficult to say from the angle I had, but that might be.
Salmon's actually Bill's in the pits, so what tyres? He's going on what tyres?
Oh, that is
he's
too
also
early.
on hards, so he could have now bottled his race.
I think that is too early, but we will find out soon. Actually, looking at the spray right now, it might not actually be that far away from when actually looking at the way Ross is losing the back end in turn 1 there. Maybe we're actually at that point where the inters are just overheating. And look at this, Adam Corrigan on the back of Villa here. And it looks like Villa on those tires might have gone too early into the pit.
Yeah, it's definitely too early.
He's definitely gone too early, but it can't be way too early though. It can't be more than another lap or 2 before it's dry tires. I mean, the track almost looks dry now. Oh, Villa almost losing it. Kieran having to go on the grass there. And Villa is losing a lot of time right now.
Especially to lead, a gap now 14.3 seconds, but Louis and Mumford are in, so maybe they're thinking it is time for hards or mediums. And
as DRS has been enabled, and Louis looks like he's serving a 5-second.
I think that was contact with Patrick.
Well, actually looking at it, looks like Villa would have been well ahead anyway. Louis has gone on mediums though.
Yeah, mediums can go to the end. Me, Cameron, and I believe Callum Anderson, we tested it. And mediums went all the way to the end, but they're at 80 to 70%, and they still had some pace compared to the hard tyres, so I think mediums is the way to go.
Interesting. Well, nonetheless, then we can see that Villa is still in the lead, but he has lost a lot of time. Mumford is only 8 tenths behind him now. And I'm thinking about it, if Patrick is not losing too much time on this lap, he should be coming out in the lead.
Gaps around about 17.1 seconds. Oh, Mumford drifting a little bit.
As we see Patrick and me and Sean both going into the pit. Adrian is going to go into pit 2. Adam right into pit. Same with Ross. Everyone diving in now. Villa is coming on to the main straight. And as he's halfway,
Patrick's
and
been
he's
jumped by
back
Sean
in the lead.
because Patrick had that 5 second, and Patrick's on softs, so he may be going soft.
Oh, well, that sounds very sketchy if you ask me, but...
Oh, Kieran's binned it in the banking. He's got wing
Oh,
damage, I
look at this
think.
though. Patrick on his soft tires has just gone past Adrian. Not gonna lie, Patrick is looking very quick right now with those tires all over the back of Sean here.
But he's going to have to be quick if he wants to have a chance to win this race because he's doing a two-stop now.
And look at this, Thomas Mumford is also all over the rear of Villa here. Lewis Vassman catching up to these two as well. And look at this, Patrick around the outside of Sean O'Sullivan and going into the banking. He's going to go into 4th place. And that's what a set of softer tires can do for you. As Thomas Mumford is trying it on Villa here, can't really get the move going. Villa is not having fun on those hard tires right now though.
I think the track's too cold.
He has Mumford and Vassman both right up his rear trying to take advantage of any mistake he will make now. And then we have Patrick 2.5 seconds behind Vassman chasing these three down.
Shane has binned it out of the pits, it looks like. He's out of the pits or into turn 1.
Well, that would be a shame. Nonetheless, Villa now is getting attacked from Thomas Mumford on into turn 1. Villa breaks late to try and regain this position. They're still side by side. Who's gonna come out in the lead? It looks like Villa has barely managed to keep it. However, Mumford right down the inside in the hairpin as it takes P1 away from Villa here.
He has taken P1 from Villa and Race Point having a worse day because Sean's also lost it on the hard tyres.
Oh, Adam Corrigan getting close to the back of Adrian too. I was gonna lie though, Jared, those hards does not look great, to say the least.
Yeah, I think it's just because the track temperature, since it rained, it's going to take a while till the hards start working better. Mediums are a fast tyre anyway, but even still, they shouldn't be falling off this much. Ooh, was Adrian massive lock up and Adam really trying to close the gap. So maybe in the next 5 to 8 laps, the track can be better for the hards, but by then it could be too late and the mediums runners could walk away with it.
Well, if he can manage to stay within Mumford's DRS range, then at some point the hard tires will be the better tire, but nonetheless though, Adrian and Adam Corrigan fighting for P6 at the P5 at the moment, I mean. Oh, and look at this, Ross Denholm looking to sneak up the inside on Adam Corrigan, doesn't manage to. I'm not going. Oh, as Villa has dropped out of Mumford's DRS zone now. Well, he's actually barely in it.
I still got it.
Barely. Then again, Lewis Vassman not staying too close to Villa either. Lewis Vassman looking like he's struggling here right now. He's almost dropped out of DRS here. As Villa has actually done the fastest lap now, Jared. Obviously with DRS though. But even with DRS, his hearts can't be feeling too bad anymore then. As Patrick is kind of struggling a little now, he's not really gaining much time on these three in the front anymore. These three in the front with Mumford in P1 at the moment, Jared. Mumford, a driver who has shown pace a couple of times, but it's not many times we've seen him in this position.
It is the case. Unfortunately, he hasn't been able to be in this position with some mistakes he's had, and he's doing what he needs to do at the moment. And he's doing a very good job right now. His championship point leader isn't doing a good job for his sakes. He's going to lose some points in the championship compared to his championship rather than second. So, really wants to try and win this race to get a fourth win in a row. He needs to pick up the pace as he does that with a 13.4. So he's just a new fastest lap.
As Ross Denholm is about to make a move on Adam Corrigan into turn 1. Adam still on the inside. He's gonna try to brake late to challenge Ross there, but Ross takes away that P6 from Adam. But yeah, back to Thomas, doing a brilliant job right now, although starting to look like Willie is getting a little more comfortable in these dry conditions now, and he's not really struggling too much to keep up with Thomas, so we could see Willie having an advantage later on in the race with those hard tires. Shane puts up the fastest lap now.
Adrian's made a mistake because he's now dropped to 7th. Ross has moved to 5th and Adam's now in 6th, so Adrian must have gone off.
Oh, you're right. Look at this. Now Patrick is actually losing time to these three in the lead. So those soft tires does not look like a good idea now. Adam Corrigan still close behind Ross Denholm here. Kieran really close to Sean here too.
Yeah, Sean was sitting in a good position in 4th and then jumped Patrick in the pits. But he's right now sitting in the lonely 8th place with Kieran, the only person actually keeping him company. Oh, as Kieran gets really close to the end of that racing point, he knows he's quicker. So we possibly could see a move very soon.
Oh,
Maybe
but we're gonna
this
see Adam Corrigan making a move on Ross Denholm into turn 1 first. On the inside, Ross Denholm on the outside. Adam, is he gonna be able to take that position? They're still side by side. Going into the hairpin, Ross is in the lead. Adam trying to get a better exit, but it's gonna be Ross in 5th for now. As the front runners are still close together, Jared.
Yeah, Luis is actually caught up a little bit. Now 9/10, so maybe he's caught up with him battling and he's just done a 12.5, so the track's getting faster and faster. We were at 13s earlier, so we could possibly see low 12s, high 11s.
It depends, of course, but even though the track is getting faster, there is also gonna be more wear on the tires later on, so difficult to say what lap time is gonna be the best in the end.
As Salmon's personal best in Sector 1 is 6,000 up on his time, so he is actually improving on these hards, and he's really getting close to Mumford, so... Oh, that correction's gonna cost me a bit of time.
Ooh, and Louis Vassman has dropped out of DRS range here.
That's interesting, as then it's Mumford and Villa all alone, battling it out. As
And look at this.
Mumford's gonna get overtaken.
Villa getting really close to Mumford now. However, Mumford looks to get a better run through the banking. Villa is gaining though, but it's not going to be a move here. It looks like Lewis is struggling to keep up with this guy, these guys. Lewis is also much lower on ERS than he usually is.
Sean sets new fast start 12-1 on hards. Maybe
As it says, purple sector for Lewis.
I'm thinking, Sandra, maybe these mediums guys may do a two-stop and the hards will go to the end.
Well, if that is the case, then Villa has won easily. As if Thomas and Lewis are both going to be pitting, then Villa will have a huge lead, and right now, as he's keeping the pace really well up here, not really getting dropped by Thomas here, then yeah, I don't know. I don't think the medium runners are thinking a two-stop right now.
Adrian is keeping up with Adam. I keep getting those two mixed up.
And Adrian down the inside in turn 1, and has there been contact, or has Adrian just done a fiddle?
He actually reset the track as well, so...
He did.
That's another clip saved. God, I'm saving more clips than I usually do in my own race.
Well, you know, that's how it is when you're that bad, Jared.
That's how it is. And the sun's actually caught right up now, 3/10. Surely has to make the move.
Well, not gonna lie here, Jared. I just don't think he's trying to make a move at the moment.
If Shane and Ivan are not careful, they're gonna get lapped. Shane has been lapped. What about the fourth?
You're right.
Yep. Dell and Shane have been lapped, so they can, if they want to try and go past, they will be quick on soft tyres, but just don't affect the guys ahead.
Don't affect the guys ahead. Yeah, that is easy.
Well, it is if you're me, but you know.
It is not. Thing is, when you're lapped, like, you think you might not be distracting anyone if you're quicker than them, but like you're still like you're blocking their view of the track, and it's yeah. If the car goes or not, I don't really care if I'm on track. I hate it when I have a lapped car ahead of me, even if it's ghosting.
Oof, Villa with that rear end. He must have a loose setup on that rear end of that car.
And look at this. I think we might see an overtake from Villa on Mumford here now. He's right on Mumford's rear. He's gonna pressure Mumford into going defensive in turn 1. However, he's not gonna be able to make a move out of it either. Is he gonna look for a move into the hairpin though? I think he wanted to.
I think he did, but Mumford actually had to correct his car a little bit into the hairpin as it was drifting a bit to the right. But Ville's not using
Nonetheless,
any of his
though,
overtake.
this battling has invited Lewis a little more back into it, as he was struggling to keep it in DRS range. But now he is well back in it.
Oh, what is that dive, Ivan? That was a massive dive on Shane.
Oh, and look at this, Shane coming back on Ivan here. As he's going to be diving it down the inside into this corner, as there is contact between these two. As there are ghosting between them two. Nonetheless, though, we're heading back to Villa and Mumford. As I don't really understand Mumford's exit out of that banking, Jared. He always goes so close to the wall.
It's a short line, as Matthew would say, and I take the exact same. It's quicker down the straight, and it's better for the overtake button because you're not going to lose the rear end or anything. So what he's doing is tactical, and it's helping him out and helping him keep the position. As Ross is in, so Ross was going on the soft tyres, so he's cost a possible podium if he tried to catch up with the top three, and has now dropped to 8th.
Nonetheless, though, we still have these three in the lead, fighting closely together for the win right now. How do you think Lewis is feeling right now, Jared? Like,
oh, definitely not happy now.
Being in a lot of, like, having so good control over everything in the first few races to now, where he's sitting behind two others, which means he has no control at all, as he's not going to be able to make an overtake, as Ville's going to have DRS, as Lewis might actually... He's trying to go around the outside of Ville here. But that is not going to work, though.
Isn't helping Lewis because he's right behind him. And he keeps popping in his nose, and now he's ahead in the corner. And just look at the grip Shane's got on those softs compared to Lewis's mediums. So,
oh, yeah.
But the reason why I think Louis actually caught up that much on the straight is because Ville's just not using any overtake at all. Oh, and he's just punted!
Oh, and that could be a huge mistake by Ville, and a crucial one.
If he wants to salvage this race, I think he's going to have to pit.
Oh, you got to be crazy, Jared.
He's got a 20-second gap from behind.
Yeah,
so
there's less than 10 seconds, 10 laps left of the race. He has probably a yellow front right wing. But look at this, he's still right on the back of Mumford, and he's actually going to be overtaking Mumford now. So the only thing that got Ville to make the overtake was getting wing damage.
And then Shane just comes out of nowhere. Alright, Shane, well, if you're going to stay ahead, you're going to have to push now and get out of the blue flag zone.
Well, you kind of have to. It's either that or penalties.
Yeah. Mumford's still looking quicker, though. He's literally right on him. That wing damage now isn't helping.
Well, I mean, in this sector, of course, he's going to be quicker than Ville, as he has a full front wing. But Ville, though, still managing to stay ahead. And you're telling him to pit?
Well, no, the reason why I'm telling him to pit, because, second place is 18, third place is 15. He's only going to lose 2 points if he gets the fastest lap in the championship. Right now, if he keeps...
Yeah, but he might still be winning the race. Look at this, he's even pulling a little time on Mumford heading on to the long straight.
Yeah, but well, long, but yeah.
That's true. And Mumford actually he's out of ERS now. Oh, Lewis breaks very late, having a huge lock up there, which is not going to be good for his tires. And another lock up by Lewis. To be fair, Lewis probably knows that with Ville in the lead here and his front wing damage, there is possibilities to get an unexpected move somewhere on one of these two.
I think if the best player for Mumford could possibly make a move is the next DRS zone, which he's approaching now. He needs to use his overtake. But if I was Lee, I'd just play it
Oh,
smart and
the
wait for the
thing is,
banking.
he doesn't have much overtake to use, though. Let's see then, the leading trio heading on into the banking and on to the front start finish straight, and Villa pulling that gap out a little.
Oh, Adrian made a mistake. He's now lost the position to Patrick now.
As Mumford is being challenged a little by Lewis, but Lewis is not managing to get close enough. Only less than a second separating the front three on lap 31, Jared.
Closest I've seen it from the steers. Usually it's only Salmon Pike and Lewis battling, but Mumford stepped up.
Mumford has really shown his best here today.
The reason maybe Salmon Pike's getting advantage of these is because he's running the ABS and these guys are not. So, saves he doesn't have to lock up. These guys are, and they're using more tie wire. Ooh, Mumford.
Well, you could say that, but in some of the corners I really see Villa just pulling away a little on traction too, so I think there could be just that the medium tires are starting to get pretty worn too. But look at this though, heading into turn one, Lewis Vassman is looking for a move on Mumford. Mumford taps the back end of Villa. This is getting real close between these three. However, there is going to be no changes. Look at this, Lewis trying to break late around the outside. I think Lewis might start to get a little impatient. He wants to get past. Not gonna lie, I think Mumford also wants to get past Villa here. Oh, and look at this, Lewis Wassman trying to find a gap on the inside there. However, he can't make the move there. And there's dives left, right and centre now, Jared.
Yeah, there's also a fight for the behind for 5th as well, which I'm keeping also an eye out. As Adams actually bottled a little bit.
Oh, and look at this. Villa has a solid gap heading on to the main straight. But look at this though. Lewis Vastman, he's going to try to make a move on Thomas Mumford. And right down the inside by Vastman. Vastman locks up a little Mumford around the outside. Mumford manages to keep that P2 for now. 3 more laps, Jared.
3 more laps indeed.
And these three are still going right at it. In the meantime, Sean is also really close with Adrian. It's clear that the Villa is struggling in this middle sector to keep the pace up. These two are right on his tail through her, but Villa manages to get a really good exit onto the main straight every time though.
I've got to say Shane's done a good job to unlap himself. And actually pull away with those softs.
Now let's see, I don't think there is any gaps there. That is that small that we'll see any of these three making any moves. And we don't. However, a little further down, Sean is not able to get close enough either.
He is actually. He's really close.
Maybe. DRS open, Sean is going to try a move on Adrian heading into turn one. Sean around the outside. He's going to have to try and keep the momentum up here as they're still side by side heading into the hairpin. Sean with the inside line and he takes away that P5 from Adrian. Oh, as Lewis and Mumford are battling hard here through this sector now. Jared Lewis was up in P2 for a moment, but Mumford has managed to claw that P2 back. As now Lewis tries the outside in that corner, and he might have actually managed to get past Thomas there.
Oh, Villa, you've got 2 laps, mate. You're going to have to hold it because right now Louis looks really quick. And he's attacking and he's really quick. Look how much he's gaining.
Oh, and look at
Oh,
this. He
does the
switches
dummy.
to the inside. There's some contact here. However, Villa on the outside gets better traction. He has the inside for the hairpin, and he's going to remain in P1 for now.
We're on the penultimate lap of the race.
And what a fight we are having right now. 3 guys still in for the win in this race.
Oh no, there's yellows. Is that Ivan or is that Ross? I think Ross made a mistake for turn 1.
Oh, and look at this Vassman trying to push everywhere, and right now he's trying to find some sort of gap to get past Wille. However, he's not managing to find a move at the moment.
Don't know, was that 2 moves there or was that just him moving back to the racing line? I couldn't really tell. I got a dodgy view. Like
I do not believe it was 2 moves, no. Nonetheless, heading on to the main straight. One more time. Louis Vassman, he's too far behind this time. He's going to try to launch around the outside. However, he's just too far behind to actually get a move there. Villa leading the pack going on to the final lap. Louis Vassman right behind him. Thomas Mumford also looking for an opportunity here. However, heading through into this twisty section, I think it's going to be difficult. And actually something I've noticed there, Jared, luckily for Villa, most of the really fast corners are right-handers. Considering he has a damaged front right wing. Could have been much worse if the fast corners were the other way.
Get him.
No, Lewis wanted to, but he just couldn't. Oh, look at this though. He's really trying to challenge Villa here. Then heading into the banking. We're on the final lap. Going through the banking to the line. It's going to be a drag race to the line. It's going to be Villa over the line in P1.
Alright then.
That's actually Lewis actually takes it on penalties. Ahead of Mumford and then Villa.
Did you see what I think I just saw?
I did see what you think you saw, yeah.
that's also getting tagged. Oh, Louis just been punted out of the way. But Louis, fourth win in a row now. He'll be happy with that, and Mumford takes second.
It is his 4th win in a row, and he really had to fight for this one. He was never really in control of this race. He was always battling to just stay in touch with Mumford and Villa until the last few laps, where he really started pushing and trying to make a move on on first Mumford, then Villa in the end.
Even with a low turnout, it's been an actual awesome race. It's been fights all over. It hasn't been boring or anything. It's been actually entertaining. And yeah,
it's been a really entertaining race in the end. As we see Louis Vassman once again on the top step of this podium.
Even on penalties and a 5-second penalty he had in the race, he still can't be stopped. The wet weather can't stop him, the dry weather can't stop him. He looks unstoppable right now, and could he be the first person in IRL to win every single race? Or is that a bit of a push?
Well, as we see, it is Louis Wassman taking his 4th win in a row here, ahead of Thomas Mumford in 2nd, then Villa in 3rd, Sean O'Sullivan in 4th place, then Adrian in 6th. Patrick just on the wrong strategy today and ending up in 6th place in the end. Ross Denholm in 7th, Adam Corrigan in 8th, and Kieran in 9th, and Shane in 10th. A lap down, Ivan King in 11th. Then we have Jamie, James, and Anton all retired today.
Well, just before we actually get podium interviews, I just want to say something. I've just looked in the incident, and the reason why Salmon Pike lost the race is because what he did on the final lap on to the line. That's why he got a 5-second penalty.
Well, I think everybody knew that already, Jared. It popped up as it happened.
Well, it didn't pop for me, so that's new then.
Okay. I call blindness.
Agreed.
Nonetheless, if you could invite the podium finishers to interviews, Jared.
Yeah, sure. I'll invite. Who's it again? I know Lewis was there, but
Lewis, Mumford, and Villa.
Thomas Mumford, Salmon Pike. Yup, they've been invited.
Oh my god, what am I seeing in the chat? As we have the race winner here. Doesn't look like we're getting the 2 other podium runners in for interviews, Jared.
Okay, that's unfortunate. Well, I'll let you take our race winner, as I'll try and keep the peace.
Yeah. You keeping peace, well, I guess there's the first thing for everything.
Yeah.
Well, nonetheless, Lewis, congratulations on the race win.
Thank you.
But first of all, we'll dive quickly into quali. Did not look as comfortable as you usually do there.
Well, it actually felt quite okay, the pace and everything, so I was looking forward into the next laps in quali after the first one, and I just saw in the second one I wasn't even improving, and in the third one I did only improve by 2/10, so I was looking into a top 3 in quali. After I saw that my pace wasn't that good, so yeah, then the final one came. I was sitting in the garage and not thinking of anything and forget to change tires. So I drove out with the used set and drove very slowly back into the pits because it was the tires I would start the race on. So yeah, unlucky that I didn't got a last run, so I had to start P3, even a bit lucky. I think it was only 1/10 to P6 or something, so
yeah. It wasn't a lot now.
Yeah, then into the race, got a good start. In the turn 1 I wanted to get a lead, braked too late and then dropped back to 4th, so yeah. In the end,
I did see that you went a little deep in first turn one, and after that you also went a little deep in the hairpin. Looked like you were just like a little over optimistic there in the beginning, and you lost.
Yeah.
I believe you lost the position to Patrick in the hairpin, if I can remember
And
correctly.
Mumford, I think, as well. But I'm not sure if I already lost it the corner before to Mumford. But I think, yeah, Patrick was on my outside and I couldn't get on the throttle early, so uh, I had a problem that I had to avoid him, so I couldn't start accelerating. And yeah, then I lost a, a bit of traction, and then I was pretty slow there and lost 2 positions. But in the end, it was quite a nice battle. I'm still sweating a lot. Yeah.
I believe that. Of course, Ville was leading for a long while with quite a good lap, but when it
And quite a
stopped
big
raining,
lead.
he did make an error and pitted a little bit early, which meant that both you and Mumford were right back in it, and from there it just did not stop before you guys crossed the line, as you guys were neck and neck for the rest of the race, and I can, this got to have been the most difficult win you've gotten this season so far. You weren't really in control in this one.
Yeah. I was even not the quickest guy today. I mean, in Canada I wasn't the quickest as well, but today I really wasn't the quickest. I was not even definitely pace-wise in P2. So I can happy I won it again. So 4 in a row. Quite happy about it. But yeah, I have to look now. I have to look into it. Why I was so slow, because Sanford is a track. I've not raced it, but online, but a track that I like to race on. So yeah, I need to look into it.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, I can tell you that from what I've understood, Sandford is a very ABS OP track, so I do believe you're running no ABS. So that
Yeah.
could
Okay,
be
I don't know.
one reason that you struggled more today.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, though, a great race in the end, and also good to see that you have to fight for it a little. But
Yeah.
nonetheless, any questions from you, Jared?
Well, the only question I'm going to ask is, can you have footage for the last, to the finish line thing if you have it? But other than that, well deserved winning. Yeah, just unfortunate lap to the line, but you got your 4th win in a row, and hopefully you can have your 5th next round. And good luck for your next race. And I'll let Sandra ask you the final question.
Well, in that case, then next race, Lewis, we're heading to Austria. Pretty much the closest thing to a home race you could have this season, as there is no Germany. And I do
Yes.
remember saying that about Belgium too, but I had forgotten about Austria then. But nonetheless,
Stanford is close as well, so I had now 3 almost home races in a row. So yeah, quite interesting. Next one is even with the same language, so looking forward into it. I think it's quite a controller OP track, but I think
I do not believe
even
so.
if I'm not on the controller, not anymore. I don't know, but I'm looking forward into it. It was my favorite track years ago. It's not anymore, but still quite a good track. So I'm looking forward into it to have another great battle and maybe win even again. But I don't know, for the championship fight, it's maybe not hopeful. Not everyone will hope that I will win again, but yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I could do with another winner next week just for that sake. But nonetheless, though, you did really have to fight for it today, and coming out on top in the end. Congratulations on that, and good luck for next week.
Yes, thank you.
And with that, Jared, do you have anything more you'd like to add?
Nothing really. Everything's been answered. It's been a good race, entertaining, better than FP, but you know, I can't have that for next week. FP has to be at the top. But no, honestly, good race from everybody, and just a few drivers being a bit silly. But other than that, it's been entertaining.
Same old, same old. Well, with that, this has been IRL Season 8 F4 Round 4 around Zandvoort in the Netherlands. I have been your commentator, Sander Zorg, joined by Jared Fosbury today. If you'd like to watch any more racing, then next race will be F1 and F2 tomorrow at 6 p.m. before F3 and F5 is racing at Sunday at 4:30 p.m. With that, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and hopefully we'll see you again. Good night.